Howdy, howdy. I lied to you all. I didn't come back after to do the. I didn't come back to do the tree. I did the tree already. I did the tree without you. I'm not sorry. The music is a little too loud. Well, maybe it's not. It's hard to tell the volume. So I'll turn it down, and for me, and then hopefully it will be fine for you. And if it's not, it's probably a little too loud. Let me just turn it down just. Oops. It's just so hard to tell. There we go. Because I want it to be audible, but I don't want it to be just everything you hear. Anyway, what I am doing is this is the wrong layer. Here it is. Okay. I'm grabbing my shading color. And yes, it's purple. And we're going to do some shading, hopefully. The metal bits are going to give me nightmares, but you know, you've got to do it or else this piece isn't going to look very nice. And it just occurs to me that I forgot to put the highlights in the eyes, which is literally the easiest thing to do. Ah, lordy. Oh look, there's nasty bits hanging out of her ear. Thanks. I'm so happy. So happy. What the heck is that layer? There it is. Okay. And then there's some parts that weren't quite... Okay. What I need to do is I need to put it there so I have it to grab, and then I need to grab this color, clean that up, see, I don't know how I miss these things. So just the same sound over and over. I hate that. I hate whenever the music is just like everything is the same song over and over forever. I mean, it works fine when you're not paying attention, but I was paying attention, so like whatever. Whenever it decides to let me change that. Okay, now I have to find the layer I put the teeth on. What layer did I put the teeth on? Dear Lord. Okay, I think it's the same layer as... There it is. There we go. And I've decided the background is going to be clear, so I don't have to fool with it. So, hooray for me. I was literally just about to talk about why I shade with purple. Well, it's because you shouldn't shade with black. That's about it. No, you shouldn't shade with black. I mean, unless you're going for style. You shade with black in your style, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying not to shade with black is what I'm saying. Because it doesn't always work for what you need. There is a bit of orange peeking out from there. No, I'm not the best at shading. I'm not the I don't really have a lot of skill with it. I'm not that great at it. Like, I'm just going with what feels right. I don't really, like, I can vaguely figure out where the light's coming from. It's probably going to be coming from here. Oh, well, obviously the big glowing bird is here. Oh, right. I made the bird glow. I also made the bird glow while you guys were gone. Yes. Anyhow. Anyway, I shade with purple. I actually started shading with purple because I had a particular project that I was doing that needed to be shaded in purple in order to match the rest of the set it was part of. I was making an item to match an already existing item, if that makes any sense. So to follow the conventions that had already been set, I had to shade with this purple, and this is roughly the same purple. It's not exactly, but it's about the same purple. It's a purple I liked, at any rate. But how do I shade her sketch normally? Okay, it's hard to tell sometimes. But yeah. So I started shading in purple. I just like how it looks for now. It does bring up some weirdness, like you can see here in the ear. It turns it changes the color a little bit, but I think it works. I think it works pretty well for me, and it changes like the tone here. But once you reduce the opacity a bit, the effect that you see with it right now, like this extreme effect, it probably looks really terrible, but it will look less terrible when I fiddle with the settings. And I love this part. I love shading her inner ear. This color, I love it. I love this color. It's just such a pretty, vibrant pink. I love it. That music never decided to stop. It just never decided to stop. Come on. Wow, so it was just never going to stop. Let's try this one. Okay. It does have several different songs. Anyhow, yeah, when I come to shading, I just kind of do it based on how I've done it in the past for similar poses and what feels right. And it's been working out so far. Like I used to just do flat. Like you can see, well, this was a reference, so I didn't bother doing shading or anything. This is literally just a reference just to get basic design, colors, and all that good stuff down. So I didn't bother shading, highlighting, none of that. But I used to just do flats. Like I'd only do flats coloring because I had my brain for the longest time. Like I don't know what it is, but I could not figure out how to wrap my head around shading because it's those common sense kind of things like are so hard for me to pick up for some reason. Like I don't know. It might be it might be just how my brain works, or maybe it's because I'm not creative. I don't know. But no, it took me a while, and basically, I had to take some baby steps, and well, you're always learning. I'm nearly 30 years old now, and this is my level. But I don't. You don't have to be. I have to be kind to myself, because you don't have to be a certain age to be at a certain level. There's no age limit on things. It's just wherever you are. And I just realized why everything looks so weird. It's because well, that didn't work. But it's because everything is... Why does it look so different? Did your colors go in there? Colors did go in there. When did that happen? No. Get out of there. Jeez, I was wondering what was going on. Anyway, this needs to be here. It was over the lines. That helps a little. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. More nastiness. Thank you. I'm so happy. What a gift. Where are you? Come on, where are you? Wait. Oh, this is the completely wrong layer. Here we go. Haha. Okay. Now. Probably have some pretty extreme shadows here where the light is coming in. But yeah, you don't have to be at a certain level just because you're at a certain age, and just because you're at a certain age doesn't mean you should, not try to develop your art skills, no matter what level you're at, if you're a beginner or whatever, just because you're too old. Because you're never too old. You're only too old when you stop breathing. And boy howdy, I hope I don't stop breathing anytime soon. But yeah. I used to God rest you merry gentlemen. It's not Christmas. Although I know a lot of those Christmas carols are taken from songs that had nothing to do with Christmas. They just took the tune from it, and they're like, hey, stop singing about drinking. This song is now about Jesus. Sing about Jesus now and stop drinking. But see, here I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. I have no idea if it's gonna look any good. I usually set this layer to like 50%. Yeah, 50%. That makes it tough enough to stand out, but also not distracting. It doesn't need to, originally I was doing like 30%, and it just disappears at 30%, and you can't really see it at all. Yeah, so you which does give you the chance to deepen the shadows, which I'm not very good at. I'm not very good at doing secondary shadows. Like you'll have like these shadows, and then you'll have like shadows that are a little deep, a little bit lighter, and that deepens these shadows. Yeah, I'm not so good with that yet, but give me props. I'm getting there. Like, I wasn't putting shading in my drawings last year, I think. Like, let me take a look. This is the wrong folder. Like, come here. Come here. Yes. Yes, like, I just wasn't putting anything but flats on my art. I did like hair highlights. I did start like getting into that a little bit, and then I didn't draw any hair. Got best ye merry Celtis men. Haha, funny. But yeah, no, like even just last year, I was not really putting any shading on my drawings. And to be honest, it wasn't until I started drawing Vex that I really started. It just so happened that I was drawing her. It wouldn't have mattered what I'd been drawing. Then I would have like started putting shadows on things. But it just so happened to be Vex. I meant to draw something for a character of mine. For her birthday, because she's one of the few characters of mine that has one. But, didn't work out. I don't know if that shadow works. I think just this works, because the light is coming from here. There we go. You ever just remember, like, I don't know if anyone's listening who went to church and such. The stories they used to tell us kiddies were quite the wild ride. I remember, but, well, I just remembered, unprompted, this old man was like, hey, do you know what happened to these kids in the Bible who made fun of a bald guy? They got eaten by a bear. And he would like tell the whole story, and it's like, I don't make fun of adults. I'm terrified of my parents. Church people are a trip. Power trip, like these people, honestly. Whatever works. Whatever works. I'm not talking about the church people, I'm just talking about my shading. I should probably dim it a little so I can see what the heck I'm doing. There we go. It's pretty close to what it's gonna be anyway. There we go. Yeah, see, I really did need to. There we go. Oopsie. Nope. There we go. It occurs to me I have some wrinkles in here I didn't address. There we go. Just one. Just a bit of a wrinkle. Okay. There's a dog at my feet, making it difficult to... Are you serious? You've pinned my foot in an uncomfortable position, thanks to how you're sitting on the blanket. Oh, and now you're acting like I interrupted your nap. She's crawled under the bed. Did I ruin your sleep that badly? Okay. I can't look at the big picture. I will just get discouraged. I need to focus on the little things. Just focus on like the little areas that I'm looking at immediately. Not down there, but just up here. I was panicking because I was so quiet, and then I was like, I have music for those moments, for those exact moments when I am quiet. I can be quiet if I want to be, and I might be quiet because, to be honest, I've been talking to myself all day. I do wonder, like, because like I mentioned that I couldn't see Vex in a relationship, but I did leave that kind of thing open. Like, I didn't make her arrow, I just made it, I just didn't know like what it would take, given everything, for her to open up to like that to another person. And I think it would take not much, really. It would just be a person who took care of her, protected her, even though maybe she didn't need protecting. Because she is used to taking care of herself. And like, the people who take care of her normally, like, obviously aren't interested in her romantically, but I don't know, she'd probably be intrigued by a person who valued her that much. Of course, that's just me guessing. I have no idea. She's not even been flirted with yet. It would be hilarious, honestly. It's like, the Yerk is there and you're flirting with a lizard. I don't foresee that in her future. Of course, I say that, and then my DM is gonna see this and is gonna be like, you don't, do you? I'm going to make her fall in love. with a handsome, I don't know, dragonborn maybe. That would be adorable. Maybe. I like that idea. No, I like that idea. Just need to make it more subtle. Maybe not like that. Why? I did close the spoilery thing, so no risk of what happened last time, fortunately. Or unfortunately, maybe, if you were hoping for it to happen again, for more hilarity. Gosh, it is so tiring to do an entire body of this. I've just started. I'm not even done. It is already starting to bring this to life, though. Like you can see. I'm gonna put a raster layer here, because I'm just gonna put the eye shine in. There we go. That really brings her to life a lot more, I feel. Probably reduce the opacity a bit. Maybe 75. Maybe just 90. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, you really don't realize how much life is stored in the eyes until you work on it, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like that like brings a lot to her, because whenever it's just gone, it's, I don't know, it just feels like she's just so blank. And now here she's alive. I think that little dot is a bit too wide, though. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. But yeah. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I know I've said that like a billion times, but I don't. Probably gonna put a shadow here, here. Now I'm probably going to highlight this with blue instead of the yellow I normally use. Purely because this bird is here, glowy bird. Spirit of the old wizzy. It's like that, it's like Brother Bear. It's like that she's gonna turn into a magpie. That'd be too cool. She's not allowed to turn into animals. That's Yurik's job. She can turn into other people, though. She's now got... I just realized one of the things I did was I forgot. I was like, I'm gonna tell you the spells that I gave her, and then I never told the spells that I gave her. I have them on cards. There we go. So, as an arcane trickster, she's obviously taken Mage Hand. But then she gets 2 other cantrips. She took Prestidigitation, because I love Prestidigitation. It's just really fun. And then I wanted something I could use in a pinch. A damage dealer that could maybe finish someone off, or just get them off my back. So I got Toll the Dead. It doesn't make sense why she has it. I wanted it. I could have anything, and I chose that. Then for her actual spells, she needed to take at least two that were either illusion or enchantment, either and or kind of situation. So for her illusion, she took Disguise Self, which is an illusion spell, and then Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which is an enchantment spell. Did I say enchantment and illusion? I might have misspoken. She needed to take an enchantment and an illusion spell. She took an enchantment and an illusion spell. So she's good. She didn't need... She could have taken 2 illusion spells or 2 enchantment spells, but... Anyhow. But then, I get a freebie. And I gave her fire. I gave her Burning Hands. With the idea being, if I just need to burn a spell slot and get somebody off my back. Fire. 15-foot cone. 3d6 fire damage. So, like, at most, that's like... I can't do math today. 18 damage. At most, if I managed to hit. But if not, then it would just be... At worst, it's like 3. No, at very worst, it's like 1. Because, like, that's... You made the saving throw, and I rolled as low as possible. But, hey. Anywho, so sailing I go. I'll probably just, color the whole thing in and then erase. I think that works. It's gonna be... All my, shadows are gonna be blurred anyway, because it softens the line here. I just like the look of that better. I don't know if it's any good or not, but it makes me happy in the brain chemically bits, and that's all that matters. We were actually talking in the chat earlier about, like, if the party had toy merchandise about them. And I concluded that Vex and Frey, the halfling warlock, who's totally not a warlock, he's totally just a wizard. He's definitely not a Pact of the Archfey warlock. But I deduced that they have the lowest toy sales. Purely for the fact that when you look at Nira, who has... I'll show you. Nira here, who has alternate forms and beautiful bright clothing and a fancy rapier and this pretty tiara and everything, and like a whole alternate form. Yeah. And then you have Yurik here, who can turn into animals and is also a huge, awesome half-orc tiefling. And then you compare that to... Oops, no, I won't. No! Anyway, you compare that to Vex, who is, lizard. With sword. And that's all she can do. She has magic now, but she didn't for the longest time, and even now, it's like she has Mage Hand and Prestidigitation, which everyone has, and she has Dr. Sidious Laughter. She's not very cool to the eyes of the kiddos, is what I'm saying. And then you have what's his face? Frey, who, well, he's keeping everything hidden and doesn't remember everything about himself, and his thing is he has a book and he reads and stuff, and that's not exciting for the kiddos. So I was like, yes, we're probably the least popular as far as the toy sales go in this reality I've made up purely for my entertainment. But alas, Girif is way too poor to have a moment like in the Hercules movie where, like, one of the fairy minions, one of the bad guys, the villain's minions comes in and he's wearing our merch and it's like, well, the shoes are comfy. That's the only reason I have it. Or I just like the taste of the energy drink that that sponsors them. But we did agree that despite that, they are Vex and Frey are probably the ones most popular for getting the autographs done. Simply because they are the only ones that have charisma. Though Yorick is the face of the party, he's also getting a reputation as a heartbreaker. Goodness gracious, boy. We had so obviously we just had a level up recently since I brought up the wonder if I could just nope. Wonder if I could. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, we just had a level up, which means that our wizard and everybody else. Okay, so that is a problem. It's not just my, my dirty, filthy, nasty screen. Come on, there we go. Anyway, so they were able to switch their spells around, and we've had an unfortunate luck with Chromatic Orb. Nira used it 3 times in the session previous, and then 3 times in this session, in this most recent session, and missed every single time. So Chromatic Orb went bye-bye. It's just cursed for us. We just, I say we, she just decided it is not in our best interest to be keeping this spell on our roster. Since the die, which are digital by the way, so they're not like weighted or anything, the die don't seem to like it anyway. Unfortunate. Because it's a cool spell, you know? It's a cool spell. But it just never wanted to work for us. So into spell jail it goes. Oh, that was the thing that people were excited about. The Dragonlance book school, the Dragonlance supplement 4 is the Spelljammer vessels, which means space missions. It's so funny to just come back to things I talked about ages ago. But that's what a ramble is. A ramble is whatever pops into my head. I say it, and you have no choice but to listen to me, or you could mute me, because you have the power. I wouldn't blame you. But then you wouldn't get to hear my delightful and no doubt necessary commentary. Maybe it's soothing for you. Maybe you could turn this on and go to sleep to my voice. And you're like, start an ASMR channel where you just talk about random stuff that happened in your D&D campaign. And I'll have to be like, that's kind of weird. No, thank you. Not because I think ASMR is weird. I mean, it is, but I like it. And it's weird in a fun way. More just, I would have to feel so much more comfortable in my current setup than I am to do something like that. Like, it's even hard for me to do this. That's why I speak so softly. It's because I don't want to get a knock on the door and be like, hey, what are you doing? And I'd be like, nothing. Look, I will be 30 years old in almost a month, just a little more than a month. I will eternally be an embarrassed teenager. I just will be. Because I didn't have healthy boundaries when I was growing up. Anywho, oh gosh, I don't like this. No. This is my least favorite. Okay. And then you've got arrows here. There we go. Itchy, itchy. This used to have her emblem on it, but I didn't feel like drawing that. Can you blame me? I already drew it. Technically, this whole thing is it. Maybe here too? I don't know. Does that look alright? I think it looks alright. And if it don't, I'll just erase it later. Like I've said, I do not like this part. I just, even though I figured it out a little bit, it just doesn't, does not vibe. I do not vibe with this universe where I have to shade my drawings to make them look good. As you can see, I kind of put some fancy stuff on the leaves. I just took a lighter green and went around the leaves. Looks kind of stupid, but you know. Where's the trees' colors? There we go. There's my signature. Ta-da! Rain. That's the name I picked for myself. I said my real name in the last recording session. And it's not that I don't like my real name. I just prefer to go by Rain on the internet. And I wouldn't mind going up by it in real life either. But I don't know, I'd probably be too shy to ask. I can just tell when my settings have turned themselves off. I was wondering what was going on. I was like, why is my line looking so weird? Just because I chose the wrong tool. Anyhow, that signature is actually a brush I made. So I just like stamp it. You can see it. I can't open that one. I was about to show you the very thing that I got upset with myself for revealing and having to actually learn, despite all my complaining, editing a little bit. It was just clipping and splicing two clips together. A pain, not hard, just a pain. The metal is what's giving me pause. Because I know I'm gonna have to do more than just this simple shade, maybe. Maybe it'll be okay. Look, I'm not good at this. I am the novicest of novices. People will be like, just imagine where the light falls. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that with my brain. Like, I can see it in other people's works, but for mine, I just can't. I just can't think that like that. Doesn't work. I mean, I've sort of figured it out now, but not really. I was about to be like, you know what's exciting about making a private video? And then I remembered this wasn't the private one. I was like, I can just say everything about her backstory and everything, because it'll be a video for, like, after that stuff is revealed. But nope, that's not this one. That's not this one. I think that's good enough. Come on. Yeah, that's fine. It'll be extra fun once it's blurred. And then I'll do like this. Yeah, that should work. Itchy. Itchy. This happens when I'm on a call with my therapist too. My nose gets just uncontrollably itchy, and I'm like scratching my nose all the time, constantly in front of her. I'm like, stop. It always gives me warm fuzzies inside every time someone tells me that they love Vex. Even though I specifically made her to be lovable, but it's at the same time, and like I tell them how much I love their characters too all the time. But at the same time, I always get a little fuzzy on the inside. I'm like, they love her, which means they might love me. Good, that's good. I'm glad I grabbed that, and I'm glad I meant to grab that. That was what I was intending to do. But yeah, no, like just every time they say, wow, I just love Vex so much, I'm just like, ah, that's my baby, that's me. That's the one I play. Okay, so it's not. Might be. I'm gonna test it again. It's hard to tell. Okay, there we go. Ah, come on, you. Let's have confessions. I still haven't seen the third How to Train Your Dragon because I hate goodbyes. And I think it's stupid that they just, like, let the dragons go instead of, living together like they were doing at the end of the first movie. Like, that was, like, the whole point, that they learned to live together as partners forever. Honestly, you don't need to make a girl that's all girly for your, like pairing off everybody. It just gets under my skin. Like, a character should exist for more than just so this character has someone to smooch and make sequel bait babies with. Even if they're really stinking adorable. granted, you are also talking to. I know I don't have much room to speak. What is that? As the person who owns a Stitch plush and an Angel plush, because I had to have them both. This is the wrong thing to take. There we go. Oh, lordy. But anyway, I guess that's kind of coming back to what I was talking about whenever I was talking about how I designed Vex and all that good stuff, where she was made to like not be this super femme, pretty character. There goes my phone. I am sweating up a storm. I might have to start up the fan, which is going to like just run the sound. It's just going to be everything in the soundscape as soon as I turn it on. But it's so stuffy in here. And whenever I use them, my hands just pour the sweat. You're like, wow, you really only know how to make 2 folds in clothing, don't you? And I'm like, yes, I do. What's your point? Well, what's your point? It's all I know. Look at other ones I have. That's why I adopted this you one. Just gonna do that one. Really? There we go. Yeah, that one's good. My only trouble is whenever I do blur these, I'm gonna have to go back in and come back around a lot of these blinds because they kind of pull back from wherever you put them. Like you can kind of see it on the one I'm taking. Oh, it's gone now. You can kind of see it though in her ears on the one that I'm going to open up in a bit, or the one that I did open up a while ago. yeah, they kind of pull back from the lines a bit, and it just means I have to go over them again. Ugh, this nose of mine, so itchy. I had better save, because Lord knows it would be. I haven't saved anything that I've done so far, and it has been an hour. Time flies when you're having. Well, it's not fun, is it? I'm not having fun. I don't like this part. But yeah, no, time flies whenever you're experiencing grief. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we go. Gosh, shading metal is not fun. I don't really like it, but it must be done. I think I'm going to at least do Vex as the usual. And I don't know if I'm going to finish this piece recording it. Just because, I mean, I am getting close-ish, but I'm not, it's gonna be a while yet. And I really don't have that much more to say. I mean, I certainly could come up with some things, but But I don't know. I don't know if it's very interesting to you. I don't really have any more to say about Vex. That I can say. At least nothing that comes to mind. Like, there's always some like cute. There's always like some fun little character details that come up if you ask like fun questions like what kind of coffee would your character order if we were going to the store? I don't know. What kind of coffee would you order? I don't think Vex is a coffee person, like at all. In fact, I think she would probably hate it with every fiber of her being. She doesn't care. Like, she already doesn't care for like fermented foods or anything like pickled. She doesn't like that kind of stuff. She just doesn't like the taste, and she's a bit of a sweets fiend, so she doesn't really go for that. Now, she will eat it and drink it, like she's from a place where it's not the done thing to like waste food. Like, she knows better than that. But she does. If she had a choice, she wouldn't go for the bitter, the fermented, that good stuff. She would probably order something like a chai latte, a hot cocoa. Oh, hey, look at that. There's a piece I missed. Just straight up missed. Well, I'll go ahead and put some shadows there, and then I'll come back in for some color. One time, I accidentally got the whole chat discussing what kind of sandwich their character would be. Vex's pizza being dragged away by a rat. Well, that's it for her. Everything else is going to be this stupid tree. Bane of my existence. Hatred of my soul. For my sanity's sake, I think I'm going to leave it till tomorrow. But then that means I don't get to blur the lines today. Yeah, this one's gonna have to be a strong blur. Oh, this was the wrong layer anyway. I was like, why did nothing happen? It's gonna be a strong blur. Yeah, there we go. See, it softens up those lines. Real nice, but they do pull back a little from everything. Oh, this piece is so huge. I might not have to worry about that so much. But yeah, that was what it will look like. So I think this series is done, even though I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to be adding highlights. I'm going to be shading this. And then it will be done. It's very close to done. Yeah. Maybe I'll link in the description when it is done so that you can see what I slaved over for 3-4 days. I'm gonna go back to when it wasn't blurred yet because I still need to do the tree. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far, and I might record another one of these if I think that highlighting it will be fun, or if I think of more things to say. Because honestly, that's kind of why I'm like, I think I'll stop it here, because I think I've just run out of rambles. But it's just because I've done like 2 of these in a day, and I guess 2 is my limit. But yeah, this is Vex. She's my baby, my child. And I'll see you around.